Into the crack house. Into the crack house. Into the crack house. Into the crack house. Into the crack house.
Welcome to Minisode 37. I am your host, Fritz, joined as always by co-host Mandaddy.
Hi.
Angela.
Hello.
Kaz.
Howdy.
And Frizz.
What's up?
Hi.
What's up?
What's going on?
Well, I'll tell you. As I've previously discussed in past minisodes, more than half of the population of the United States of America believe in UFOs in some kind, which are objects in the sky that no one can really say one way or the other. It's
Kind of unidentified.
Yeah. That thing was not a bird. That thing was something else entirely. So, if over half of the population of the entire United States of America believe in UFOs, things that they cannot explain, surely then we would say, well, what do our pilots think? Because these are the guys who are flying thousands of hours
Absolutely.
per certification. These are sometimes ex-military, ex-Air Force employees who just still want to fly, you know? Like, I can only imagine that's a rush.
Well, first of all, if we're talking airplane, don't call me Shirley.
Why is that?
The movie Airplane.
Oh, Airplane.
Yes.
With Liam Neeson.
Yes.
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 What was the guy's name? Leslie
Nielsen.
Liam
Damn it.
Neeson.
So
was
you
also
would
in it, probably.
you would think that airline pilots would, if they do believe in UFOs, they would talk about them. Would you say, or do you think airline pilots would be a little removed to openly talk about UFOs?
Like maybe they're not told not to say, not to give out the info.
Maybe.
I
Yeah.
agree. I feel like they're very matter of fact, like, that's UFO, because technically UFO just means unidentified flying object.
Right.
No one
So-
told me what that was.
Correct.
It could be
So it's a
anything.
UFO,
Correct.
and I can't tell what it is. I would feel like not necessarily like a secret conversation they have, but pilots are never like, talking to the crew or talking to, in front of the passengers about like, holy shit, when we hit the turbulence, like I didn't know if we were going to make it. Like they're all very like,
Yeah.
they have like a,
That would be great,
Very
just an honest pilot.
just
Yeah.
like,
Holy hell,
Jesus
people, was that
Christ, guys, that
insane?
was real. Like we don't have any more fuel. I don't know how we made it here.
He like somehow triggers the PA like mid turbulence, and you just hear.
All right, people. Everything's
Buckle
gonna
your
be fine.
seatbelts, a little unexpected turbulence.
So, well, turbulence goes right into safety. So you would think if pilots see anything out of the normal, especially pilots who are vetted to operate vessels with 200 souls on board, you would want to report
But there's
anything
probably a
that
few
you
people
see.
with red hair, so it's maybe 198.
Ah, come on, that's
Probably.
slow hanging
Jeez.
fruit,
It's racist.
No,
right?
it's not.
So-
It's extremely.
So you would want to report anything that you saw, correct?
Absolutely. I think it's the thing we've talked about. Like you said, that you don't give some like weird Yahoo the keys to a 747 and ask them to fly people around. Like these, for the most part, these people are.
You hope. Do those even
You
have keys?
definitely hope.
They do.
The
It's a big set of keys.
the following audio is from actual pilots over Arizona. Okay.
Okay.
Or 7-1 Papa Golf, go ahead.
And there was anybody at front above us that passed us like 30 seconds ago?
Or 7-1 Papa Golf, negative.
Okay.
Okay.
Something did.
Something did.
It's a UFO.
It was a UFO.
Yeah.
Shortly after that, they asked an American Airlines pilot if coming up, see if anything passes over you. So the air traffic controller, the ATC in Albuquerque, New Mexico, because that was the closest waypoint, said, negative, there's nothing flying over you. The guy it was a Learjet flying at like 30,000, 33,000 feet. The ATC said, negative. And then he said, okay. And then you heard that audible moment of silence, and he said, something did.
Yeah.
I saw it.
So then the ATC radio contacts an American Airlines flight, who then said, just check it out. See if anything flies above you.
Hey, you're in the neighborhood. Give a look-see.
Yep.
It's a UFO.
This was, yeah, last. This was from the first
American,
contact.
1095, let me know if you see anything pass over you here in the next 15 miles.
He's know if anything passes over.
American 1095, affirmative. We had an aircraft in front of you that's 37 that reported something passed over him, and we didn't have any targets, so just let me know if you see anything pass over you.
I don't know what it was. It wasn't an airplane, but the path was going the opposite direction.
This pilot confirms.
But that was
American 1095, yeah, something just passed over.
Wow.
Don't know what it was, but it's at least 3,000 feet above us. So yeah, it passed right over the top of us.
Okay, American 1095, thank you.
Whoa!
Just thank you. Thank you for that confirmation.
Why is this stuff on the news all day? By the way, this is happening, people. Buckle up.
They don't want to tell anyone that. They'll
So-
freak out.
Yeah.
There you go. Over 50% of Americans believe in UFOs. Airline pilots, only 5% have reported cases. And the answer by and far is stigma. If you report,
They don't want people to think that they're
Since-
crazy for
Right.
seeing a UFO.
Exactly.
Since the pop culture boon of the 60s and the 70s, paranormal means what?
Kooky.
Yep.
Yep.
So 5% of pilots, but you just heard pilots on air
Yeah,
talking
They were
with ATC.
stone cold. Okay.
All right.
It's a UFO. He was just like,
Check that
must
out.
have been a UFO.
UFO check. Anyway,
Yep.
where are we landing? Like he just like there's like
Alien
whatever.
overlords.
Stone
every
cold.
day. Pretty
Fritz.
cool.
Chilling. That
yeah.
was chilling. I like that.
What do you got,
Really?
Mandaddy?
Goosebumps.
We've talked about them before. The pesky flat earthers. That, by the way, just in case you aren't a flat earther, you are wrong. There's no debating. You're just very, very wrong.
Well,
Extremely wrong.
I don't
Like
know.
as wronger than other people are wrong about
Fact.
other topics. Fact, you're wronger. Now, this one man is trying to prove it, and so in what was the date? Right around March 20th or so, he decided to make himself a rocket and shoot his ass into space.
Why? Was
And,
he-
Okay.
because he wants to get into orbit so he can prove once and for all for himself that the Earth is flat.
How
like
did
he
a
believes
flat
it's
Wait,
green.
whoa. So he wants to get in orbit. What does orbit mean?
Way further than he got.
Okay.
Like a whole lot further.
Okay.
Yeah. He to get there, he has to go about 68 miles, I think, is orbit around that area. And he got how far did he go? I'm not going to make the noise.
It's like 300,000 miles.
Yeah,
Please-
386,000 or something.
Please
like
make the noise.
that. I just freaking out in here too now. I think he got 18,000 feet or 1,800 feet in
That's
the air.
still impressive for a flat earther.
Yeah.
How
yeah.
did what were the means? Like, what did they show? The rocket? Like, what
Yeah,
does
it kind of 1,800 feet into the sky.
Yeah.
I have a
And he
question.
parachuted down.
So did they envision like Earth being like Asgard, just like spilling over the edge? Like how do they?
There's different. Some say there's a gravitational wall that keeps the water in. Some say it's an ice wall. That's what Antarctica is. Antarctica is actually surrounding us, and it's an ice wall. Like kind of, I guess they're really into Game of Thrones.
What the hell is Asgard? I have no idea what
What?
that is.
It is the planet on which Thor lives on,
Okay.
and
Or
Odin.
that's the Marvel way,
Yeah.
the normal Norse
Correct.
way. It's just
Yes. The
plane-
Asgardians live
it's a plane
on-
of existence.
yeah. Okay,
that
gotcha.
the
Is
Norse
Asgard
gods live.
flat?
It's flat, actually. Yeah,
Makes
it
sense.
spills over the edge.
So Earth is flat then.
Right.
No, we're not Asgardians.
I'm not getting it. Is there math behind that?
I don't think there is.
I understood there would be no math.
No.
But so yeah, this guy did it. What is his name? Mad Mike Hughes. Mad Mike Hughes shot his ass into the space. No, he didn't get all the way to space.
Did he
But
die?
He didn't die. No, he did
Wow.
not die. He just hurt himself a little bit. You know, he went to the hospital to check himself out. Nothing really bad. But my favorite thing about the whole situation is that he says, this thing wants to kill you 10 different ways. The thing will kill you in a heartbeat. He knows that what he had was so insanely dangerous, but he still had to do it. You got to give it to him for just really wanting to prove it for himself.
What did he mean by this thing? Will
What
This
thing?
rocket. The
Oh.
rocket,
Okay.
yeah. This rocket that he was just in. That he's talking about how he had to pull the plunger like 5 times, and he wanted to bang on this and have someone come over, and he's like, but if they flip that switch, it'll just burn the skin right off their bodies. You know, this thing just wants to kill you.
Well, it was probably like, what is it, like 100 jet fuel? Like, it's like something super, super potent,
Yeah.
and it's like, it's high octane. So this guy wishes to disprove science.
Yes.
Science pretty much tells us that the Earth is completely round
Yeah, well, roundish. It
with an
has-
iron core.
It bulbs a little bit.
He blows himself up into,
1,800 feet?
1,800 feet.
right, which is like, like
Pretty good.
Not bad.
Yeah, maybe a drone can get up there.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Easily, actually.
And then just to make sure, because he has his doubts, right? He has science. Check him up in a hospital.
Yeah. Once everybody's like, I'm not into science. I'm not into science. Oh, I'm hurting. Where's the doctor?
Right.
You mean the scientist over there with a different name?
I need a priest.
Yeah. Thoughts and prayers. But my favorite thing about this is his final quote on it was, am I glad I did it? Yeah, I guess. I feel it. I'll feel it in the morning. I won't be able to get out of bed. At least I can go home and have dinner and see my cats tonight.
Yeah.
So, hey, so good for him, even though he's kind of an idiot. I mean, he's kind of an intelligent, he's a very brilliant idiot. You know,
this man built a rocket and he thinks the Earth is fine. Maybe he was just doing it for like
he's smart enough to build a rocket and not kill himself, but dumb enough to have to do it.
Yeah, he's missing
and
like
he just
half
has the
map.
means to be able to build a rocket.
Did he have a spacesuit or anything? Like, what did he?
Well,
what was his plan if he got to
he
orbit?
knew he was getting to orbit this time. He knows it's
test run.
Oh, this was a test. Okay.
He knew that there was no way he was getting that
Eventually,
far.
he'll escape the gravitational pull of.
Kind of badass.
Yeah, but at the same time, so dumb. It's a combination of the two. It really is. It's like, I'm so impressed with you.
Right.
I'm so sorry.
I kept thinking that, like, I feel almost dwarfed by his ambition. He was just like this guy who has like very little concept of what the world is, and he's like, I'm going to build a rocket, and I'm leaving.
He definitely has an idea of what the world is. He just, I don't know, for some reason he got into the theory, people, and then once the theory...
But again, he used science to build a rocket and trajectory, which is trigonometry in science. He is a fucking cop-out. He's using science to prove science isn't real all the time.
It's like half science.
Yeah, I don't think he really used much science.
I mean, well, by definition, he had to use science to build a rocket.
I feel like this was just kind of guesswork if he only made it 1,800 feet.
Copy paste.
No, if you get that far and not blow up, you're using some definite science because you can go out in the garage right now and slap some shit together. It's going to blow up. But
would we make it 1,800 feet
Right.
though? Like that's
Yeah.
No, he obviously
knows
used-
what he's doing in
Yeah.
some capacity.
That's ridiculous.
But just I don't know if he's so intelligent that he just needs to know for sure. Maybe that's it. He's
That's
like
awesome.
a savant in some
I like
way.
that.
Yeah.
He's like, I won't believe anybody until I see it for myself, which is impressive
Sure.
and also sad.
Well, keep us posted.
I will,
because
definitely.
Obviously, he's going to try something even dumber.
He crowdfunded it, and originally he got like 0.2% or something like that. But then once the flat Earth thing got into it, then that's when all the money came. Because you look like you have something you need to say that almost, I don't know, connects or segues from what I was saying.
like a internal like need to connect these things. There's actually a brilliant bit of wordplay here. The Flatbush Zombies are releasing their new album.
Flatbush, like the popular street in Brooklyn?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, they are three guys from New York, and they are a rap trio, and I really enjoy them. And I've enjoyed the last few albums that have come out, and their new one is coming out on April 6th, and I recommend that you check it out.
So the genre would be
Hip hop.
Hip hop meets
Rap.
the zombies.
What subset of hip
It's
hop?
kind of like psychedelia, hip hop, horror stuff. I don't know. It's good. It's
Anyone
good.
you compare them to?
Maybe like Danny Brown. You guys listen to Danny Brown recently?
My neighbor?
Your neighbor's name is your neighbor Danny Brown? Oh my God.
It's Daniel Brown, but
Okay.
yeah.
But he calls him Danny because he's his neighbor.
That's probably him.
It's
It might be him.
It has to be him.
It's-
How can it not be him?
it's definitely him.
It's Daniel
It's Danny Brown.
It
Well,
has to be him by
it's-
definition.
My neighbor's Daniel Brown the Fourth.
There's
Oh.
4 of them running around?
Wow.
I don't know.
Are they
Is
all
that-
good? Like, are they all good on the mic?
I don't know if
Does
that.
he have bars?
No, they're not very
Do they
creative,
spit hot
obviously.
fire?
I've never met him.
New album, and it'll be on Spotify and iTunes and all the good stuff.
Cool. And that's the Flatbush Zombies.
Flatbush Zombies.
Okay.
But it's not like okay. So like trip hop back in the 90s.
Trip hop.
That was
No. So not like that. That was more kind of like dance music meets like lo-fi. Like Tricky was like trip
Yeah,
hop,
that's like
right?
Tricky.
And it was that's not like this is like rap. Like it's
Is it like hip hop or
Are the
Like-
beats dope?
the beats are dope.
Okay.
okay?
All right.
It's like a more like kind of think like Wu-Tang, I guess, but like more intense. It's good. If that's the closest approximation we can get to.
That's
I'm
fine
just
by
picturing
me.
juggalos.
When hip hop really like does well, I think it's when they incorporate other elements to it. Like for instance, Misdemeanor Elliott with her
Yes.
I Put My Name Down. It was like horror rap. Like her videos were frightening. And like what Migos is doing now is just like constantly turning heads in hip hop, I think is the way that it's always gone.
So I would say then yes, you would enjoy this. The guy that Tim and I really enjoy in the group, his name is Michi Darko, but he has a very like interesting like sort of swing and way that he kind of like uses his voice differently. It's not just like, you can tell what he's saying, but he's kind of doing interesting stuff while he's rapping. It's cool.
So do you think he should go off on his own?
Yes.
Okay.
Official stance.
Break it off, dude.
Bold.
You're better than this. Go your own way.
Man, I'm so glad Public Enemy never broke up. And like,
plus, I think he knew like Flavor Flav wasn't going to have like much of a solo career on his own. He needed to like bring his boy along. Like,
well, I mean,
except for that like awesome reality show he had.
Right.
That was the greatest show ever.
No way. How did that happen?
Flavor of Love?
Oh, I watched all of it.
You've
There were
watched
2
all.
seasons.
There's 2 seasons, right?
No, definitely, absolutely 2 seasons.
Anyone who has had a live-in girlfriend has watched all seasons of Flavor of Love.
That's true.
If you went back in time to when it takes a nation of millions to hold us back, and you sat someone down, hey, you big fan of PE? I love PE. Okay, check this out. In the future, women of all races are going to line up and be in a reality show to date Flava Flav. Yeah, right, time traveler guy. Why won't anyone believe me? This is the only way I can prove I'm a time traveler.
Because you're wearing pajama pants.
Ah, damn it.
Also, the irony of the time travel is that he used to wear a giant clock as a necklace.
Yeah, you'd think he'd know what time it is.
And you heard that like Wendy's
Fact.
brought out, like they released their own hip hop album, right?
Wendy's released a hip hop album? I did not hear that.
Dear
What?
Lord.
Yeah. Do you know what it's called?
No idea.
I'm waiting for you to.
We Beefin'.
Oh,
Is this just like a funny like dad joke thing?
I think I did hear about
This
that.
is real?
Yes, this is
All
real.
right, we're going to listen to We Be Beefin' on the back porch.
This
After you eat
follows,
some Wendy's, you'll be beefing too.
this follows in the footsteps of Hamburger Helper.
I remember the Hamburger
called,
Helper mixtape.
Watch the Throne.
Watch the Stove.
Yeah, Watch the Stove. Yeah.
Oh, that shit was hot, dude.
Yeah, no, it was great.
It was absolutely amazing.
good.
So, but as of right now, like,
Interesting.
people are digging on it.
That's awesome.
Angela, what do you got for us?
All right. Has anyone ever read Lemony Snicket's
Yes.
Series of Unfortunate Events?
Familiar.
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
All of them?
No.
All 13 books?
No.
Anyone?
I have
No.
not read
No.
anything about it. I just know of the Jim Carrey movie, and then I saw season 1 with my wife.
Yes.
A series of unfortunate events, or is it?
Yep.
What's it called? Is that it?
I actually have never seen the Jim Carrey movie,
I haven't either.
but
It was good.
It was. People don't like it. I think it got like poor reviews, but I liked it.
it did.
I thought it was really good.
It got poor reviews.
I thought it was good.
Yeah.
The Netflix show is pretty great.
NPH again.
NPH, Neil
Notorious.
Patrick Harris is Count Olaf and is very entertaining. And season 1 came out last April, and season 2 just came out March 30th.
Oh, awesome.
And as beautiful as Netflix is, they always just put all of their episodes in. They're like, hey, be lazy for an entire weekend.
Here's
Happy
what you're doing
Easter. Here's an entire show for you to watch.
About orphans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of like every corporation's MO now, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Because like if you want to, you can maybe like, sneak a little viewing pan at work and just
Did you know that Anthony Hopkins himself, Sir Anthony Hopkins, loves to binge watch shows on TV? He
That's
just
so awesome.
will sit at home and just binge watch.
He's
shows.
earned it at this point. I feel
Yeah,
like.
he really has.
Yeah.
and he was in Silence of the Lambs.
Westworld, which is the most current thing he's been doing.
Yeah.
When is that coming back, by the way?
April 22nd, I think, or
So a
April.
couple of weeks.
What is that? I think it's April 22nd, which is Earth Day
Yes.
for all of you.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Anthony Hopkins, by the way, he was engaged to someone, and when they saw his performance as Martha Stewart, he was okay. So Anthony Hopkins,
Wait,
he was
rewind.
engaged to Martha Stewart.
Yep.
Fake news.
Anthony Hopkins was engaged to Martha Stewart.
No.
And when she saw, you can please fact check
I'm
me.
looking.
When
He's going
she
for it.
saw Hannibal Lecter, when she saw him on screen as Hannibal Lecter,
She wanted to make a fava bean soup.
No, she broke it off with him.
She broke up with him.
She broke up with him.
Get out! What that?
She's
Mistake.
I can't wait to hear about
Cass,
this.
go ahead.
But here's the thing. Do you know about what the fava bean thing and the Chianti wine, what that is about?
No.
When he says that, he says, I ate his liver with a nice Chianti and fava beans.
Yeah.
Those are 3 things you can't take or eat if you're on certain sort of mood stabilizers. And so he's basically telling the doctor, I'm off my meds.
Oh shit!
That's badass.
That is
I did
awesome.
not know that.
Yeah, Chianti wine, and they all are high in iron and stuff like that because of certain
Okay, that makes
mood
sense.
stabilizers. You can't take them.
Are you fact checking?
I did, confirmed.
Confirmed. Wow.
Martha Stewart.
So
correct?
Martha Stewart and Anthony Hopkins were engaged, and she saw Silence of the Lambs and was like, no, because when I saw Silence of the Lambs, I was like, yes, Anthony Hopkins.
Well,
Here's my number.
Yeah.
Also,
So
Angela.
murdery.
Also, Angela, you were growing up, and you were like, he looks cool.
He looks cool. I love a good prison jumpsuit. It's really sexy.
He filled it out well.
The face mask helps too.
Yeah.
He
Right.
does.
I've always loved a man in uniform.
Anyway, we're talking about a series of unfortunate events, which is kind of a kid show, but kind of not really. Has a really cool, like, dark comedy-esque to it. I think I would compare it to, like, Tim Burton meets Wes Anderson a little bit in terms of aesthetic and pacing and tone.
So this show is about three, rather.
3 orphans. So their parents die in some mysterious fire that happens, and they're apparently going to be adopted by this Count Olaf, who is some distant relative, but he's an actor. And he is in some secret society with their parents, and he's basically just trying to get their money.
He's also loaded, or like he has a big estate. And
he has a huge mansion, but it's a totally decrepit piece of crap house.
He can't afford where he's staying.
Great set
Correct.
design.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just the look, the aesthetic of the show
the
is
aesthetic
nice.
of it's awesome. And Neil Patrick Harris has this like really grotesque prosthetic nose and eyebrows, and he doesn't look like himself. And I also love that the theme songs are always original. Like, it's basically telling you what's happening in that episode, which is kind of cool. And Neil Patrick Harris obviously sings it. And like every episode, so season 1 is, there are 13 novels within the series of books. And so season 1 is the first 4 books. Season 2 is 5 of the books.
Okay, so
and then they just got signed on for season 3, obviously.
Have you read every book?
I have not read a word of these books. I don't read.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
Do you know how many pages are in each book? Like, is it like a 170?
They're smaller. Yeah, they're smaller books. It's like a kid's book.
Okay, so and each episode is an hour, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So if you have 4 books for the first season, which was like 8 episodes, I think.
I think they do about 10 episodes per season.
Yeah, so you can definitely track it like to the source material. If you have not read the books, you can kind of figure it out.
It's like 2 episodes per season are all within like one environment.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really neat. And the kids, like the kid actors are really good. And like
they are.
So the family is the little orphans of the Baudelaires. And they're like 3 super genius kids. Even the baby is like super genius.
The baby
figures
is
things
hilarious.
out. Yeah. It's just it's a really cool show. So it's like it's kind of a kid's show, but it's not really a kid's show. It has this really cool dark humor to it.
It's
so
super dark.
everybody can watch it. It's neat. Yeah. So check it out. So season 2 just aired or just came on March 30th. So you can watch season 1 and season 2, and then season 3 will be renewing next year.
Binge.
Cool.
Yeah.
Don't leave your house. Just don't leave your house until you're done.
Just don't leave until you watch the whole thing.
Start and stay there.
Don't leave your house until you fucking die. Let's end this show,
All right.
okay?
I do have to say, there is an outside cat that we have that is like in a whole like tuxedo outfit. Obviously, he's a tuxedo cat. And we call him Neil Patrick Harris.
Oh, nice.
Does it eat trash at all, or?
Neil Patrick Harris doesn't eat trash.
He has fancy food.
Yeah.
Delivered to him.
I didn't know. Well, that's Minisode 37. I am Fritz, always joined by Mandaddy.
Bye.
Kaz.
Bye.
Angela.
And also Tim Frizz, Tiz,
Also,
Tim from.
I'm someone.
No.
Bye.